Hello, darlings. You're welcome to Z-Star Africa, your home of sizzling drama recaps. Let's dive deep into the betrayals, heartbreaks, haunting moments, and shocking turns in Soulmate's upcoming episodes. Hidden truths are about to explode, stirring storms no one saw coming. From the Deshmukh house getting haunted, to Renuka and Tejas' secret coming out in the open, to Paresh delivering a shocking slap to Renuka, every second burns with drama. Like and turn on your notifications for your favorites. It only gets more interesting. Let's dive in. It all begins with Sachin storming home after being wrongfully detained by the police, frustrated and fed up with his mother's endless lies and pretense. What fuels his anger even more is Shakuntala, equally shielding her, hiding the truth about Sayali's real gold chain being swapped with a fake one. Sachin's frustration finally boils over. He corners Tejas, demanding answers, and this time he wants the truth. Tejas nervously admits that someone had threatened him, a shady customer who bought goods without paying. But his excuse doesn't convince anyone. Renuka lashes out, slapping Tejas, pretending she knew nothing about it, while his father scolds him for his reckless actions. But the real shock comes later when Roshni confronts Tejas. Hurt and furious, she forces him to tell the truth. And he finally confesses that he sold Sayali's jewelry. Roshni is devastated. She begs him to keep it from Sachin, terrified that he might have them jailed. Yet Sachin isn't done. Deep down, he knows there's more to the story, that Tejas isn't acting alone. The mystery runs deeper than anyone realizes, and Sachin is determined to uncover it. Sachin tells Sayali that he plans to visit the park the next morning to uncover the truth about Tejas' sudden wealth. When he meets Tejas' friend, the man denies ever giving Tejas any money, confirming Sachin's worst fear. Tejas had stolen Sayali's gold jewelry and replaced it with fakes. Soon after, at Sayali's shop, Sachin arrives and breaks the painful truth. Tejas was behind everything. Determined to expose him, Sayali comes up with a clever plan to make Tejas confess. Sachin joins in, buying a lemon as part of their trick. Back home, Paresh is deeply hurt by the deceit and by how Sayali was disrespected. Then, in a dramatic twist, Sachin shows up dressed like a wizard, pretending to sense dark energies in the house. Everyone is startled except Sayali, who plays along. Sachin claims a real wizard gave him an enchanted lemon that would cause pain in the neck of the guilty person. Riya laughs it off, but Sayali adds tension by insisting such powers can even paralyze the wrongdoer. The act begins to work. Renuka and Tejas grow visibly nervous. When Sachin places the lemon before Lord Ganesh, Renuka and Tejas try to stop him in fear, but his confident act forces them to back off. Riya grows curious and examines the lemon, unaware it's all a setup. Later, Sayali quietly reveals the truth about the clever trick to Riya and Akash. Tejas grows restless after Sachin's warning that guilt from stealing the jewelry could bring him real physical pain. Haunted by fear, he tosses and turns through the night, even trying to wake Roshni, but she remains fast asleep. Unable to find peace, he wanders the house and runs into Renuka. Seeing his troubled state, Renuka avoids questioning him and instead seeks guidance from her friend Shakuntala. Shakuntala advises them to visit a powerful monk who might help them ward off the curse. Desperate to protect their secret, Renuka agrees. The next morning, she and Tejas prepare to leave quietly. Roshni, sensing something unusual, insists on going along. But Renuka lies, saying Shakuntala is unwell and needs her help. Roshni believes her, while Sachin watches their sudden departure with deep suspicion. When Renuka and Tejas finally meet the monk, he immediately senses the weight of guilt surrounding them. Though displeased, he agrees to perform rituals for their protection and gives them a sacred object to place in their home. Back home, they secretly swap the enchanted lemon near the temple with the monk's object, hoping to erase their fear. But nothing escapes Sachin's eyes. He notices the switch and questions it. Once again, Renuka covers up the truth, claiming she brought the object from a temple visit. Tejas feels deeply unsettled after seeing lemons scattered across the floor. A strange energy fills the house, and he starts hearing someone whispering his name. Shaken, he looks around nervously, fear written all over his face. Roshni finds him and tries to calm him, urging him to go back to his room. Moments later, Sachin and Riya arrive, sensing something is wrong. Tejas panics and scrambles to hide the truth, that he stole Sayali's jewelry for money. But Sayali begins connecting the dots, her eyes slowly filling with realization. Terrified, Tejas begs his mother, Renuka, to bring the magical lemon he believes can protect him. Just then, Sachin switches on the lights, catching both Tejas and Renuka red-handed. Despite their desperate denials, Sachin firmly lays out every piece of evidence, exposing their lies one after another. Renuka's voice trembles as she tries to defend her son, but Sachin stands his ground. Together, he and Sayali confront Tejas directly. Even faced with the truth, Tejas keeps denying it. Then Paresh enters, furious and heartbroken. He lashes out at Tejas, unable to believe what his son has done. When Renuka tries to shield Tejas, Paresh's anger spills over, and he almost raises his hand at her, but Sachin steps in just in time. Renuka breaks down completely, pleading with Paresh to forgive them. She insists Tejas acted out of desperation, not greed. But Paresh, too hurt and disappointed, refuses to listen. This time, his pain runs too deep, and he can't bring himself to forgive her. Deeply hurt, Renuka locks herself in her room, refusing to answer the constant knocks from Tejas, Akash, and Roshni. Feeling sorry for his mother, Sachin asks Paresh to talk to her, but Paresh refuses. He explains that Renuka's constant disrespect towards Sayali and her family has gone too far, and he can't overlook it anymore. Sayali understands his anger, but still pleads with him to at least speak with Renuka. Yet Paresh remains firm. The next morning, nothing changes. Renuka still won't come out, and Paresh, who slept outside, shows no sign of softening. Tejas and Roshni try again to talk to Renuka but fail, and Tejas lashes out at Sachin, blaming him for the situation. Another argument breaks out, but Paresh ignores the chaos. Wanting to resolve things, Sachin calls Shakuntala for help. When she arrives, Paresh is shocked to learn she already knew about the jewelry issue. Shakuntala goes to Renuka's room, knocking repeatedly until Renuka finally lets her in and locks the door. Inside, Shakuntala urges Renuka to face the family and make things right. Renuka breaks down and says she only wants to speak with Paresh, insisting that she exchanged the jewelry for her child's sake, not out of selfishness. Later, Shakuntala speaks with Paresh again, pleading with him to forgive Renuka one last time. After some thought, Paresh agrees, but on one condition. Renuka must personally apologize to Sayali, and Tejas must do the same. Only then will he consider letting go of his anger. Later, a heated clash sparks between Renuka and Sayali. Their argument quickly spirals out of control, forcing Paresh to step in and urge Renuka to apologize. But Renuka's pride won't allow it. In a burst of anger, she tears off her gold bangles and throws them at Sayali. Sachin immediately defends his wife, while Paresh pleads once more for peace. Yet Renuka stands firm, unyielding and cold. Seeing his mother's pride consume her, Sachin is struck with the painful truth that she may never change. Furious, Renuka storms off, vowing never to bow to anyone again. After she leaves, Paresh's anger turns to Tejas. He scolds him, demanding that Tejas return 27 Indian rupees lakhs and Sayali's jewelry worth 4 Indian rupees lakhs. Everything taken from Sayali without permission. Tejas is shaken, while Roshni steps in, promising to repay the money. Sachin gives them a firm deadline, making it clear there will be no second chances. Later, Roshni quietly enters Renuka's room with the bangles, hoping to calm her down. But Renuka's anger hasn't cooled. Overcome with rage, she slaps Tejas, blaming him for the shame and turmoil she's now facing. Watching this, Shakuntala grows deeply worried, fearing that Paresh might finally give up on Renuka, something he's never done, no matter how bad their fights have been. Meanwhile, Paresh is broken. His heart aches as he confides in Sayali and Sachin, admitting how deeply Renuka's stubbornness has wounded him. His voice shakes as he apologizes for her behavior, blaming himself for not being able to change her ways. Sachin gently comforts him, urging his father not to bear that burden. Sayali, moved by Paresh's pain, tells him not to waste tears on someone unwilling to change. Paresh, hurt and completely drained, vows never to speak to Renuka again. Unseen by him, Renuka overhears his words. The shock hits her hard, leaving her visibly shaken and speechless. Trying to lighten the tense atmosphere, Sayali prepares a warm breakfast for everyone. But Renuka misreads her kindness, seeing it as a celebration of victory. At the dining table, Sayali serves the meal quietly, while Roshni, still proud, refuses to eat. Tejas eventually gives in to hunger, and after a pause, Renuka also joins them, persuaded by Roshni. Yet the silence at the table says it all. Paresh keeps his distance, refusing to sit beside Renuka, his silence heavier than any words he could speak. Later, in a private moment with Riya, Sayali expresses her wish to keep Renuka's mistakes private. Not to hide the truth, but to protect the family's dignity. Riya promises she won't say a word to her mother. But unbeknownst to them, Renuka overhears the conversation. Misunderstanding their intentions, she twists Sayali's kindness into manipulation, convincing herself that Sayali is just pretending to be good to win people over. Meanwhile, Tejas and Roshni struggle to gather the money they owe Sachin. Their situation worsens when they learn they must pay a heavy 1 lakh rupee fee to reclaim goods previously seized from Tejas's shop. Despite Sayali and Sachin's efforts to maintain peace, the atmosphere at home remains tense. Paresh, still deeply hurt, continues to ignore Renuka completely. Later, Roshni returns home and places 2 lakh rupees in Paresh's hands, saying the money came from her father. Paresh instructs Tejas to hand it to Sachin. Though the amount is only half of what's owed, Sachin accepts it, seeing it as a step toward reconciliation. Watching her son finally take some responsibility gives Renuka a fleeting moment of pride and relief. Later, Sayali shares a tender conversation with Sachin. She tells him that the jewelry he gave her holds more meaning than gold. It represents their love and partnership. She also suggests buying another car to expand their business and increase their income. Together, they dream of a better future built on love, effort, and unity. But peace doesn't last long. Renuka confronts Sayali in anger, accusing her of pretending to be innocent while secretly turning everyone against her. Sayali, though hurt, calmly defends herself, insisting her actions were never manipulative. Watching this, Riya begins to see through Renuka's bitterness. She realizes that Renuka might be playing the victim, and her blunt honesty irritates Renuka even more. That's a wrap, fams. See you in the next. Much love.